Welcome back all. Let's go ahead and continue. Now I have a small mistake that I've made here. I've placed attachments outside of the else, but we're just gonna go ahead and cut it from there and place it into here. That's it. No problems there. Okay, there I compiled this. Let's give it a shot. So just write include send mail.h, press Ctrl S and F9 and pray to whatever god you know. Of course. Of course. Something had to be wrong. So, yep, here we go. Info. Save. Capital I. Run. Oh man, it actually runs. It's awesome. Now we just need to go ahead and kill it. End task. End process. Actually, it runs. So, now we're going to go File, New, Empty, Yes. And this will be the heart of the keylogger. KeyboardHook.h. So this header will be the one that is in charge of recording all the keystrokes. So this is probably the most important header, which contains the most important functions for the keylogger. It is the very heart and soul of the keylogger. And here you will be able to see a lot of awesome things. So we've primarily used hooks here to, well, we've only used hooks to actually record the keystrokes, which is a very efficient way of doing it in terms of resources in any case. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin writing it and see what occurs and what happens. So, if and def, the hook h define keyboard hook underline h. Okay, now let's go ahead and have our include statements. I wish there was a copy paste feature here, but no, I should write it. Okay, IO stream, and next we're gonna include f stream, again include, windows.h, include key constants.h. I sincerely hope that this is right. And include timer.h. And we're gonna need one more. Include send mail.h. There we go. Simple as that. Now we will just use a series of Windows API functions to hook keyboard events. Now here we will capture all the keyboard events, including the registration of the key states, whether they are pressed or released or whatever. Sort of. Well, we will actually be able to figure out when the keys have been pressed and when the keys have been released. Okay, messed up my notes. Anyway, let's go ahead and create our. Why do I keep typing on the other screen is beyond my understanding. Let's go ahead and create our string key log, and this will be a string. This will be a variable where all the keystrokes are stored. After the mail is sent, this variable will be cleared, flushed of all content. But if the send mail does not succeed, the sending of the mail does not succeed, we will not clear the contents of this variable, but we will instead attempt to send it via next mail. So initially it will be an empty string. Next up, we will void timer send mail, timer send mail. There we go. Okay, so if there is, we first need to check, since the time interval that we have set for this in this particular case, in this particular scenario, is 2 minutes. So it will attempt to send an email every 2 minutes, because when you're testing it out like this, you don't want to give it a time interval 12 hours to see if it works or not. You give it something short to see if the mail is being sent, if the keys are being recorded. Anyway, so the first thing that we need to do is actually check if somebody has written, if there was anything that was recorded in the keylog string. If there was nothing that was recorded in the keylog string, then there is no point to actually do anything. Since it's every 2 minutes, it's very likely that a user will not type anything on its keyboard, on his or her keyboard, during the interval of those 2 minutes. Again with the nodes. Okay, so if keylog dot empty, yep, because this function will be called every 2 minutes, so you need to make sure that there is something to actually send. Now here we will attempt to create an encrypted log in whose name we will place the current time, and if it succeeds, function will return the name of that file, otherwise it will return an empty string. So std : string last file equals io write log keylog this. Okay, if last file dot okay, so if it returns an empty string, write it to the debugging log. So that's what we're doing now. That's what this last if statement will be doing. So if it does return if it returns an empty string, write that into the debugging log, say that the file creation was not successful. But keep in mind that for the moment, our debugging log is in plain text, not encrypted. But in version 2, in some 30 days or something like that from the publishing of this course, we will actually implement the encryption even for the debugging log. Okay, so helper write app log file creation was not as full dot keylog. So we were unable to actually create this file. Keylog plus, and there we go. That's actually it, no big deal. And I want you to return, just return, nothing. You don't have to do anything else. Basically finish it up, wrap it up. So next up, we will attempt to send a mail. For test purposes, we are filling out the body with the recorded keystrokes in plain text. But this is for the debugging purposes at the moment, and it will be removed in version 2. Now, you might have heard me say version 2 a lot of times. So this keylogger is being published. The course that is teaching you how to create this keylogger is being published now. So you have version 1 of the keylogger, where a lot of the debugging tools have been placed. And of course, a lot of people will take a look at the code, and I'm expecting for people to say, oh, well, this doesn't work, or that doesn't work, or something like, or this could be improved, etc. Everything does work, though. If you manage to find some scenario in which it does not work, please feel free to inform me. But we have included a lot of debugging options so that you yourselves can run it within your own environments that you own, and you can have all these debugging tools and figure out not only if something fails or doesn't work, because it will work, but rather instead you can see how it works, what has happened, how has the program behaved, what difficulties has it encountered, when were the errors, etc. So in addition to all of this, for test purposes, the body of the email will be filled with the recorded keystrokes that were made on the machine, and they will be in plain text. But as I said, this is for debugging at the moment, and it will be removed in version 2. It's actually not a big deal to remove it. It's actually pretty easy to do it, but we have left it so in order to be able to see immediately what is going on. Okay then, so let's go ahead and write that function. Int x is equal to mail : send mail log plus last file plus, okay, this, then we need this, oh man, comma, hi, and let's give it a smiley face, shall we? And then let's go into the new line. The file has been attached to this mail. It's like I'm missing a quote mark here, so let me just do the recount. So it's like 1. Okay, I am. Yep, there we go. The file has been attached to this mail. It's another smiley face for testing. Here is the content of the. Have a look. Enjoy. That's it. So now we're gonna need to do semicolon. Well, sure, why not? Let's do a semicolon, and then let's go here, and then let's type in backslash. Oh, come on, backslash n. Close the quote marks, but I seem to have typed something in here. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like this. Okay, now we're gonna actually, no need for this either. Just go. Just place. Yep, there we go. And we'll close this into quotes. It would have been really easy to just write it in one line, but I just figured I would place it in multiple lines so that you can all see it like without any problems, without me having to go back and forth on the screen. So let's just type in plus keylog, comma, and this will be the third. This will be the third argument. So this was the first argument. This is the second argument, and now we're going to go for the third argument. So this is the when you're writing an email, this would be the first argument is the subject, the second argument is the actual body, and the third one will be the attachment. Oh my god, I hate this. Sometimes it's useful though. O : get our path true plus last file semicolon. Yeah, that's a bit. Now we can get out of there, and then let's go ahead and type in if not equal to 7. So Oh my god, yep. X not equal to 7. So this means that the mail sending has failed. It has failed. Therefore, helper : write up log. So this, we're just writing to our debugging file. Mail was not sent. Error code. Excellent. Plus helper : to string X. Else, basically reinitialize keylog, flush keylog, clear it, whatever you, well, we're not flushing, we're just clearing it. Keylog equals this. So we're basically just clearing out the contents from keylog because there is no need to actually, when you fill it out once, you write it to a file, and as soon as you write it to a file, just clear it. There's no point in keeping anything in the string anymore. You don't want to create double things, double file inputs. Okay, so what we're going to do next is basically just create a timer. So let's type in. This will be our timer. So, dun dun dun. Okay, so timer, mail timer, timer send mail, and it will be 2000 times 60, so 2 minutes. If you want to change your mail timer to be like 12 hours or an hour or something like that, these are the numbers that you need to change. Timer : infinite. So this is in milliseconds, remember. If you want to change it, I don't know, change it. Doesn't matter. This is where you would change the mail timer. You can set it to hours, seconds, whatever. Just type in the number and that's it. You don't need to write it in this format, 2000 times 60. You can just convert the amount of milliseconds you want to convert the amount of hours you want to milliseconds, or amount of minutes to milliseconds, and just write the full number. That's it, no big deal. Okay, so next up is H hook. H hook E hook equals null. So this will define a global variable eHook of type hhook, handle to hook. This is a pointer to our hook. We will assign to it when we actually install the hook and use it with other functions. For example, to propagate the hook to other functions. You'll see why this is important soon enough. And now we shall come to our main function of this header, and we'll have a ton load of fun in it. Unfortunately, I haven't managed to place it in the first video. Chances are this will be a 3-video series to my great sorrow, but oh well. Next up, we're gonna go into the meat of this program. We'll jump into the most important function of basically, I would say, the entire keylogger.